Hello everyone, welcome back to IPL Trivia Fever. This is Priyadarshan Babu, your host, and I'm here to do the pre-match review for today's second match, that is the Kings 11 Punjab taking on the Sunrisers Hyderabad. Now, what an important match do we have on our hands today? Both the teams at 8 points, both the teams coming from their last game victories, so it's going to be a tough one, and both the teams really looking to make it off to the playoffs. Well, Punjab, what a story have they had over this IPL, from being to the top of, at the bottom of the table to slowly moving up and now sitting happily on the sixth position. Well, they won't be very happy in that spot. They would want to make it to the top four. The result of the first match also affecting their performance for today's match. So they will be looking to grab those 2 points and get to 10 points right now. So we will get to the stats and the batting lineups and the bowling lineups of the teams. But before that, it's time for some questions. So here comes two questions for the players of the Kings 11 Punjab. So here's question number one. This cricketer, along with his friends and with the help of two coaches, built a cricket academy named Spartans Cricket Academy, where they themselves did all the mason work owing to financial difficulties so that they could train. And now this player is a part of the IPL. So who is this cricketer that we are talking about? Now, since I've already told you he's from Kings 11 Punjab, yes, he is an Indian youngster, and he also was the leading wicket taker for India in the Under-19 World Cup. The bowler that we are talking about is Ravi Bishnoi. So he's also having a successful IPL, and you can really look forward to him in today's match because I think he can be a game changer. Moving on to our second question. On 3rd June 2018, he was selected to play for the Vancouver Knights in the players' draft for the inaugural edition of the Global T20 Canada tournament. He was the leading wicket taker of the tournament with 16 dismissals in 8 matches. So who is this cricketer that we are talking about? Now, Punjab has a lot of good pace bowlers, so I know that I'm telling you it's one of the seamers, but I think some of you may have guessed it. Well, he has had an on and off record in this year's IPL, where he started off on a good note, then he was smashed for 5 sixes in an over. And so now I think you know which bowler I'm talking about. So we are talking about Sheldon Cottrell. So Sheldon Cottrell is the name of the player. And now it's time to move on to the questions of the Sunrisers Hyderabad. So here comes question number one. He became the captain of the Indian team in youth ODI cricket at the age of 16 years and 105 days, making him the youngest Indian captain in youth international cricket. 5 days later, he became the youngest player ever to captain his team in a tournament win in youth international. Who is this young budding cricketer that we are talking about? So when we are talking about the Sunrisers Hyderabad, it's the middle order where the Indian youngsters have really made their mark. And the player that we are talking about in this question is Abhishek Sharma. So that was our third question. And now for our last question for today. In the 2017 edition of the IPL, this cricketer claimed 3 for 22 from his 4 overs against Royal Challengers Bangalore, and in the process became the first bowler to get the renowned trio of Chris Gayle, Virat Kohli and AB de Villiers in the same game. So who is this cricketer that we are talking about? So this cricketer, this pace bowler that we are talking about is Sandeep Sharma. So Sandeep Sharma was the cricketer that we were talking about, and that sums up our 4 questions. Now coming to the teams, well, Punjab are coming from 3 consecutive victories, so they are on an all-time high and they will be looking to win all matches from here on. Sunrisers Hyderabad have won their previous match defeating the Rajasthan Royals, but before that they were going through a bit of a bad streak. Whereas Punjab has been really going all guns blazing, and especially getting Chris Gayle back into the squad and giving him that position to bat at 1 down, which is not usually where he bats, but he is still able to flourish at that role. So I think finally, and Chris Jordan also coming back to form, after his first few games. So I think there are a lot of things going in Punjab's favour. And while KL Rahul is not only the captain, but he is leading from the front, still being at the top of the runs table. And Mayank Agarwal, well, what what a beautiful combination they have got going. In the previous match, yes, there were some unfortunate mishaps because of which they lost some early wickets, but they were able to capitalize on that later on. So Punjab is right now a very, very strong team, and no opposition can take this team lightly. When we talk about the Sunrisers Hyderabad, yes, they have shuffled their batting order a bit up and down. There were some injuries that affected. Well, obviously, there's this issue which I've said in my previous two videos also, where they lost their main two seam bowlers, that is Mitchell Marsh and Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. It's taken them some time to still gather things, but bowlers like Natarajan and all have made a good impact on the team and have taken the place of these lead bowlers. So I feel it's equal. It's an equal matchup, but I'm obviously parting a little sideways towards the Kings 11 Punjab, because I, from the start of this IPL, even though I'm a KKR fan, my second team, if I had to choose, was the Kings 11 Punjab. They look like a good squad. They have the batting power, they have the bowling capabilities, and Ravi Bishnoi is giving the support in the spin department. So they also occasionally play in Murugan Ashwin, which is also a good option for spin they got there. So I think that they have got a set team going. It's just that I feel at times, well, I like the coordination between KL Rahul and Mayank Agarwal. Well, if one becomes the aggressor, the second one takes a little bit of a backseat. So it would be good to see who is going to take that role in the match today. And they are the ones who have broken this stereotype that whichever team bats first wins the match. So at least that pressure is off Punjab's head. So it'll be good. So now the importance of the toss is a little less than it was in the initial few games of this year's IPL. Whereas if we talk about Warner's men, well, I think the batting, we saw what Manish Pandey did in the previous match, really, really a special performance from him, but that has to be consistent. So we need to see a consistency in the opening pair, that is Bairstow and Warner. So hopefully we get to see that in today's match. And Rashid Khan, so that it's going to be a tough battle between Rashid Khan versus Ravi Bishnoi. So this is going to be a really, really interesting match. Let's see who wins, because whichever team wins is going to reach the fifth spot on the points table, and that would be something very close to entering the top four. So it's a very important match for both these teams. Let's see who emerges victorious on top. So I will see you tomorrow with the match review for tomorrow's two matches. So all the best to all the fans out there, and it's time for some IPL action.